Before you embark on your acreage building journey, beware. There's more to it than just the price of the land. Stick around to discover the extra costs that could catch you off guard. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Living in the Black Hills. My name is Jeff and I've lived in the Black Hills area my entire life. And I don't want to age myself too much here, but it's been 40 years now. If you want to learn more about all things in the Black Hills area of South Dakota, then this is the channel for you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you can be notified every time we put out a new video. If you have any questions about the Black Hills area or you're thinking about building a home in the Black Hills area, we have worked with over 200 new constructions. So if you are serious about moving to South Dakota, reach out to the phone number below, send an email, or click the link to set up a Zoom call with us so we can help you get moved to this amazing place. All right, guys, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to discuss 5 of the hidden costs on buying acreage land. Okay, so we get this all the time. Everybody comes and they're going to build a home. And like I said, we specialize in this. So what they do is they go, oh, it's my dream to have 3 acres, 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, whatever it is. And I totally understand that, but your budget has to allow for that. And I just wanted to do this video because I think people have a hard time understanding why it costs so much more to build in the country than it does on a lot in town, right? So a lot in town is going to have a sewer stub out right there. It's going to have all your utilities there. You're going to have city sewer. You don't have septic. You're going to have all these things that make it pretty simple for the builder just to tie right in. So all those additional costs are very minimal in town. So let's get started. Number 1 is usually you have to clear a lot of trees. Okay. So there's many different methods of doing this. Good old chainsaw way. They actually make like attachments for excavators that'll grind the trees into sawdust, things like that. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but this could be a cost anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000, just depending on how many trees. Do we have to clear out trees for the entire road, for the house, for everything? How steep is it to get up there? Like there's a lot of variables here. And once again, that's why I'm telling you, this can range. It can be crazy. It could be anywhere from say 25, 50,000 to 250,000 more dollars total cost for all this stuff to do this. So the next cost up, number 2, is you have to get utilities up to the house. Okay. That's the thing. And those could be all over. Like the electrical box could be somewhere different than the water. Also, do we have to drill a well? That could be something. Do we need to drill a well? Where are the utilities from? Do we got to grab power off the power lines? It's just so random. I've seen it where we have to bring electrical 400, 500 foot up. And then usually you got to put another like substation box up there too, which is like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 additional dollars just for that to boost the power to get it all the way up to the house. So the utilities are totally wild depending on your lot. So this is the type of due diligence that we do up front when we're looking at lot costs, right? So I have a lot of experience in this, so I can understand, and that's where I deliver so much value to the builder. Is I understand all this. That's why they love working with us, because we don't waste their time. Okay, so that could be anywhere from $10,000. $20,000, $50,000, like I said, pretty random. And if we have to drill a well, that could be anywhere from $10,000 to, I've seen wells that cost $250,000. Okay, and usually those are bigger wells for associations and things like that. But I've definitely seen some personal wells that are 6 figures. Okay, so utilities are the second thing. Third up is septic system. Okay. When we're on acreage land, we're going to have a septic system. Now, sometimes that scares people. Do not be scared of a septic system. I grew up with one. They're very easy to maintain. If they're maintained right, usually you pump them every 5 years. It's not a big expense. It's not a big deal. They work very, very well. But You're either going to have a regular septic system, which is going to be anywhere from 15 to 25,000, or you're going to have a mound system, which needs to be engineered. And what that means is that the drainage for that septic system doesn't work well in that type of soil. So typically when we tie up a lot, we'll do a perk test on it. And so what that means is a guy will come out there, or a girl, whoever, will drill a bunch of holes with a skid steer, and then we'll fill them with water and see the rate at which they drain, and an engineer does all that. And it's not a big deal because you need an engineered design anyway in Lawrence County, Meade County. And so you're going to need, in Pennington as well. So you'll need an engineered system anyway. So it's all actually kind of part of it. But so we do a perk test, determine what type of septic system you need. If it's standard 15 to 25, it's a mound system. It's going to be $25,000 to $50,000 depending on how extensive the engineering is for that septic system. Once again, not a big deal, but that right there is probably a $20,000-ish expense. So you can see how this starts to add up pretty quickly. Okay, now number 4, something people don't even consider is that the subs charge more. All right. And that is just how it is. They have to go further. They have to deal with, typically, if we're up in the hills, now we got to deal with more snow removal. You got to deal with dirty roads. There's just a lot of variables, and the subs are always going to charge more than being in town. So they could charge $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 more depending on the trade. And so the subs just charge more money. And once again, that's something the average consumer does not consider or even think that would be possible. But that is why you work with us, because we know this stuff. And when we're looking at lots, we can match the lot to your budget. I've seen so many times, I cannot count the number of times people call me every month and they bought a lot that they should never have purchased. And it sucks. It's sad because now we have to sell the lot, find them a different lot, when all that could be avoided if they just would have called us ahead of time. Okay. So number 4 is the subs charge more. Number 5 is the road. Okay. So this can get wildly varying as well. I mean, are we bringing a road up 50 foot, 100 foot, 200 foot, 500 feet? Are we paving it? Are we going to pour it in concrete? Are we just going to do gravel? How much drainage do we have to do? How steep is it? Once again, these are a lot of variables. Typically, it's not a big expense. It could be $10,000 or $20,000. It just depends on, once again, how far away your home is from the regular road. So going over all these different things, as you can see, this stuff can add up fairly quickly. So typically at a very minimum, if all the stars align, say your home's 50 foot off the road, you need a basic septic, very few trees to clear, utilities aren't going that far, we don't have to put a road in that far, it's about $50,000. So that's a good baseline if you're using, like, say, a 2 or 3 acre lot in an area where there's a bunch of other homes. It's typically about 50,000. Now, if you're on 10 or 20 acres and we're going the distance here, this could be a couple $100,000. And so that is definitely something to consider. So people come to us all the time and they have a smaller budget. So if you have, and what I mean, and unfortunately these days it is a smaller budget, but like $400,000 or $500,000 in Spearfish, you are not building a home, or Rapid City, you're not going to get a home on acreage land. I think you need to be more like 700 plus to even consider this, and likely $1 million is where you should be. And that's just where the market's at, unfortunately. Just like I said, plan on $50,000 to $250,000 more. 50 if it's pretty basic, 2-3 acre land, not much to do. You're still gonna have 50,000 more than a house in town. So a basic rule of thumb is you can take a home in town, look for a new construction in town, and if you were to put that home, look at the lots in the neighborhood, what do they cost, right? If say they're 100 grand, your lot's 150, so you're gonna have to tack on 50 for the dirt, 50 for the extra additional stuff for being on acreage land. So you have 100, that same house on your lot that you're looking to purchase would be $100,000 more. That's a basic rule of thumb if you're looking for acreage land in a specific area. So once again, we are passionate about new construction. That is what we do. We specialize in it here in the Black Hills area. We've done over 200 new builds. So if you're thinking about building a home, we have all our info down below. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, as this is what we're truly passionate about. And don't forget to smash that like button. It helps huge with the algorithm. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.